Okay, class, I'm going to offer some commentary on the topic of volunteer management in nonprofit organizations. This is actually a pretty big topic, so I'm just going to summarize along some general principles. First off, volunteers can be an invaluable resource, and in many cases, you have organizations that really depend upon their volunteer base to get their work done. This is particularly the case with religious-based organizations where you're calling on your congregations often to lend a hand on various projects. And that's all fine and well. However, if you are not of that orientation as a nonprofit organization, then it becomes a little more perilous in using volunteers in an extensive way, in part because you have the problem of volunteer fatigue. As volunteers, they can come and go as they wish. They're not constrained as they would be by an employer to be available and to get the work done in a dedicated way. You're really relying upon the good graces of your people, and you'll only benefit from that as long as they're satisfied and willing to work with you. Over time, you may not be able to count on that, and you should plan accordingly. Good rule of thumb for most nonprofit organizations that make use of volunteers is to use some discretion. Use them for special events. Don't try to use volunteers on an ongoing basis, on a day-to-day basis, for your regular operations. Generally speaking, that's not a good way to go. You might be lucky, but like I said, as a general rule of thumb, you should work with your volunteers, again, in an episodic way for special events. If you're doing a big fun run event, a fundraising event of that sort, or a cleanup of some sort, their volunteers, I think, are a very, very good resource. But if you're doing things on a day-to-day basis, you should really rethink that. So that's all I'm going to say. We have readings on this topic. Attend to those readings. They're good. And volunteer management is one area that, depending upon the nature of the nonprofit you're working with, can become a fairly large topic. There are many nuances to it. But as I said, in general overview, I would say my remarks pretty much stand. Thanks.